spent, I think, almost $200,000 on jewelry and a car. I paid a car off in cash. I bought the chain. I bought the watch. I was like, what else do I need? I bought Louis Vuitton luggage and everything. And I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something that I just recently realized. I've probably worn my chain probably maximum 15 times because that's not who I am. I got something because I got those things because those were hood trophies. I would look back as a kid and I would see those people, only people wearing it were drug dealers or rappers or athletes. So I wanted it so bad. And to get it as an entrepreneur, it felt even better. And then there's this short period of time where the satisfaction is there. And then right afterwards, it's what's next. And that's when I just started realizing, like, I don't think all of these things are a necessity. Like, yeah, it's cool to have, but only get what you truly like. Because for me, I could care less about the chain. I just bought it because I thought it would be cool and I wanted to get it because I was a kid and all this other stuff. But now it's like you said, there's people out there buying cars and buying all the things. You don't actually need those things. For me now at 25, the only thing I think about right now is cash flow. I don't care if I want a chain, if I want all that stuff, cool. But am I bringing in profitably $100K every single month? And that might be a small number to some people, and it might be huge to others. But if I'm looking at it like, can I bring in $100K every single month without missing a month, profitably, without driving myself crazy? You can buy whatever toy you want. I think people think that they have to become millionaires to live the lifestyle that you want. No, you just need a certain level of cash flow that can fund the life that you want. And I didn't realize that until like 23, 24, where it's like all this stuff that I'm buying could be spent on assets that could cash flow, that could pay for it in the future 1,000 times over again without me stressing. And when you build, companies and things like that, you start thinking from that perspective, especially when you're trying to use money from your business to fund your lifestyle, or you're paying yourself as an employee. You got to start thinking about stuff like that.
You know what's interesting? Right before we turn the cameras on and we start recording, we're talking about the last recording we did in New York, and we're even just talking about like just being locked in, just being dialed in. And there's someone that's listening to this right now that they're in that moment. And when I say in that moment, I think there's certain times in your life, I think about them as almost like inflection points, like turning points. Like it could either go way down or it's going to go way up. And it's really that binary. Like it's those two pathways. And it feels like coming out of that breakup and coming out of 2021, you were able to make sure that it went this way and not that way. And for the person that wants to create that outcome for them, whatever that looks like for them, and you mentioned cash flow, like cash flow is king. I'm curious, like when you give all of those things about getting an apartment, making $300,000, 30,000 new followers, what is it that you're doing on the day-to-day that is creating that outcome?
That's a great question. I think what it looks like is a lot of inner work that starts accumulating and snowballing, right? So what I would say is like I said, I had to figure out who I was first so that I could build a vehicle that best fits me. I think people try to build a vehicle and then try to fit inside and then realize that the door is too small or that the engine isn't good enough or it won't last or the tires are about to go out. I build a vehicle that's best for me, that's perfect for me. And I think that throughout that time period, it looked like every single day going to the gym, because there's no way that my mental is going to be able to take on the battles that I deal with in business. It's not possible with me not working out. So I said, all right, cool. I need to go to the gym. It needs to be a mandatory thing every single day. Now, after going to the gym, I had to start doing deep work. I had to start reading. Like, I think that when people don't open books, they truly leave a lot of gems and a lot of, they could deter certain mistakes if they just read the certain books. But nobody wants to put the time in. So you're basically saying, okay, I'm not going to put the time in to read the book to find the information. I'd rather lose my money by not knowing the information and then have to learn off of losing my money. You don't always have to learn off of losing money. You could also learn by, reading that book, watching the podcast, reading that article, attending a masterclass or some type of webinar or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You have to accumulate the information. And then once you accumulate the information, don't get analysis paralysis. Don't sit there and consume every single article and every single YouTube video and every single course to the point where you're like, all right, but what do I do? Or this is a little scary. You watched all these pros videos and now you're watching all the cons videos, and now you're super motivated at one point and now you don't want to do it because the cons are saying this, and now it's just do it. Stop thinking so much. Do it. Whatever it looks like, whatever skill set you're trying to attain, or whatever business you're trying to start, just do it. You'll figure it out along the way. I'm telling you. But I think if there was one thing that I can tell any individuals who's watching this, is just start. The fear, right? I made a post on Instagram recently where I was on the 35th floor of a hotel in Miami, and on the opposite side of the door, which is fear, right? So that entrance door is fear. On the other side of that is the life that you always wanted. Now I was just like, am I going to break through this door? Or I'm going to gently open the door, or I'm going to just look at it. I'm breaking through every time. That's how you obtain the life you want.
Yeah. And it's like and you can feel it. It's like the confidence. And I think it's also just understanding momentum.
Yeah.
And even as you were speaking about the 35 floors of a building in Miami, I think what a lot of people try and do, if you think about an elevator, right? When you're in an elevator, it's going through each floor.
Yeah.
So you might get in the lobby and put floor 35, but it's going to go floor 1, it's going to go past all of those floors. I think the way that a lot of people try and do it, and it's what I tried to do early on with business, was you want to go right to floor 35.
Facts.
Off jump. You ain't trying to go floor 1, floor 2. You're trying to get right there perfect first time. And to your point, it's just about starting. Yeah. And if you have to be on floor 1 and you're spending hella time at floor 1, cool. Like, that's where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things that you said, and I love it, is you said your mentality. And your mentality is kind of bulletproof. Like, it's tried and tested. And you spoke about going to the gym. And I think to a lot of people, especially people that don't work out that often, it doesn't make sense why you would draw the link between having $100,000 liquid in your bank account and turning up to go to the gym every day. It doesn't make sense why that would be linked. And I wanted to go to one of the things that you mentioned earlier, which was 75 Hard. And I'll give the context to it, and then I'm going to ask you something about it, which is, so 75 Hard, it's a program that will 100x your confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. And it focuses on 5 daily critical tasks. So the first one is 0 alcohol or cheat meals. The second one is complete 2 45-minute workouts every day, one of which must be outside. The third is drink a gallon of water every day. The fourth is read 10 pages of education or self-improvement every day. And then number 5 is take a progress picture every day. And it's funny because I've been seeing on your Instagram, I've been seeing you do this for like the last 2 months or so. Can you just talk about why is that experience, like why has it been so transformational?
A couple other things before I even go into that.
Okay.
I get up at 6 a.m. every day as a part of that challenge. And on top of that, no social media, the first hour and the last hour of the day.
That's some discipline right there.